Thank you for joining us, everyone, on this Friday for Western Mass News at 6. I'm Jordyn Jagolinzer. We start tonight with the latest headlines in the coronavirus pandemic. The number of COVID-19 cases continues to grow at the Holyoke Soldiers Home. The governor today announcing the creation of the COVID-19 Community Tracing Collaborative, which will enhance tracking COVID-19 here in the state. And Springfield is now issuing a public health advisory asking that people wear face coverings when they go out in public. The number of veterans who have died in the Holyoke Soldiers Home climbing by 3, bringing the total now to 21. State officials confirming that the healthy residents at the facility are now being transferred to Holyoke Medical Center. This comes as the family of one of those late veterans speaks exclusively to Western Mass News. Audrey Russo joins us live in Springfield with the very latest. Audrey.
Yeah, Jordan, first I want to break down those latest numbers from the state on the Holyoke Soldiers Home. State officials have confirmed that they've tested every resident in the facility. 59 are COVID-19 positive, 60 have tested negative. Of the 21 veterans who have now died, 15 of them tested positive. 3 results are pending, 2 were negative, and 1 is unknown. And today I spoke with the family of the resident who they believe is the unknown case. Well, they knew him as Ronald Sear, a first-class airman. And they shared with me memories of him along with the confusion they feel over how his life ended.
He was in the Air Force during the Korean conflict. He was a medic.
Ronald Sear, a Wilbraham veteran, passed away March 29th in the Holyoke Soldiers Home. His widow and 2 of his children spoke with Western Mass News. They asked not to be shown, instead providing pictures for us to show over their memories of the first-class airmen.
We met dancing. We were dancers. We were jitterbuggers. We cleared the floor when we danced.
Alice met Ronald while he was stationed in Illinois. They later settled in Massachusetts, where they raised a family. And the veteran's zest for adventure, motorcycling, and boating flourished.
It was just a wonderful, life with him, and he made it fun because he wanted to have fun.
After years of enjoying his children and grandchildren, the Sears say Ronald began to develop Alzheimer's disease.
I knew I couldn't take care of him.
Following through on a request from Ronald,
Dad also spoke that he wanted to be there.
The family placed him at the Holyoke Soldiers Home. He lived in the Alzheimer's wing until March 29th, where he became one of a growing number of vets to die in the facility in a short period of time amid a COVID-19 outbreak.
We're all in the dark.
Jared Sasson is the Veteran Service Officer for Wilbraham. He says he's received little direction from the state on how to help the families whose loved ones have died in the facility. A facility he always believed was a peaceful place for veterans to live.
I feel a level of guilt. I process these applications for our veterans along with every other VSO in the state.
Because the late veterans cannot have the traditional exit ceremony from the Soldiers Home, Sasson is sharing their memories on Facebook.
We want to know, there's things that we just don't know, the transparency.
The Sear family says they contacted the Holyoke Board of Health to see if there was any record of Ronald being tested for coronavirus.
They did not. They did not have a record.
They say when they contacted the Soldiers Home, they were told Ronald wasn't tested because hospice was involved in his care at the facility.
They said that he was not tested because he was on hospice.
Left with questions and no send-off service for their airmen, the Sear family now has only memories of the man whose big personality could never be forgotten.
He loved people.
He loved people. There were no strangers. He had the gift of gab
and brought life to the room.
We also reached out to the Holyoke Department of Health to see if they have any record of Ronald being tested for COVID-19. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thanks for that live report. Our hearts are with all those families. The State Department of Public Health releasing their latest numbers not too long ago. The agency now reporting 10,402 confirmed cases in the state. That's up 1,436 from just yesterday. There are 38 new deaths for a total of 192 in Massachusetts. So far, 62,962 tests have been completed. And now breaking the numbers down county by county, Suffolk County is reporting the highest numbers right now with 2,183 cases. Middlesex County follows with 2,202. Here in Western Mass, Hampden County is reporting 661 cases, 114 in Hampshire, 89 in Franklin, and the Berkshire County has 240 cases. A new public health advisory issued in the city of Springfield today for everyone to wear face coverings when out in public, especially at grocery stores and transportation stops. And moments ago, the CDC issuing their own recommendation for all Americans to do the same thing. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis joins us live in downtown Springfield with more on why the mayor is doing this. Leon?
Jordyn, Mayor Sarno says he wants the city to be ahead of the curve when it comes to the coronavirus. Springfield Mayor Dominic Sarno says he is concerned that people in his city are not following CDC guidelines when it comes to social distancing, especially in stores.
People see something, they want to be able to grab it or get it, and then others just not respecting that social distancing on it. So we want to continue to educate the public.
That's why the city is now recommending that everyone should wear face coverings in public places, but not a N95 mask specifically.
We're advising now that face coverings, so that could be very simple as a bandana or a scarf. You don't have to get something that's high tech at all.
For those who don't wear a mask in public areas, Sarno is doubling down on the health risks.
Well, then you put yourself and your family and other people possibly in harm's way.
Now, again, if you're going to grocery and convenience stores, bus and train stations, pharmacies, and medical facilities, along with other places on this list, the city is recommending you wear a face covering. This recommendation is in place until further notice. Live in Springfield, Leon Purvis, Western Mass News.
The coronavirus pandemic has forced many retail stores to close temporarily, leaving some to wonder if these stores will be able to survive the hiatus of shoppers. Continuing our team coverage now, Western Mass News reporter Lindsay Kane joins us live. Lindsay?
While the next month looks hazy for many retail stores, a retail expert tells me that now is the time for businesses to start shifting their strategy.
We're not exactly sure what the month is going to look like, what the next 2 months are going to look like.
In a time of uncertainty for many, some retail stores are feeling the pressure of closing for much longer than originally expected due to the coronavirus.
Retailers have had to shut down their physical locations. Most of the retailers are really having to lean in more heavily on their online distribution and sales strategy.
Sarah Skirbol, shopping expert for Retail Me Not, tells Western Mass News over FaceTime that while some retailers are relying on online shopping, others can't afford to ship right now.
A lot of retailers are unable to keep up with the shipping demand. So as a consumer, it's really important if you're considering buying something, you know what those shipping windows are. While we might have been used to fast, free, 2-day shipping or overnight or same-day delivery, the fact of the matter is that we can't depend on that anymore.
And she says there's no clear-cut answer for when stores will be able to operate as normal.
What does April look like? What does May look like? And how can you adapt to the ever-changing environment that we're in?
She says while retail stores may be struggling to pay rent to stay open, she thinks stores will be busy when they can open again.
Retailers think there will certainly be an upswing. We're facing headwinds, but I do think that things will get better. I think people are going to want to get out to the mall. They're going to want to be around people. They're going to want to be spending their money and shopping because in some instances, shopping brings joy to individuals.
And while many stores are furloughing or laying off employees, she says there is hope for workers.
There will certainly be an uptick in hiring once things get going again. Especially think about later this.
Skirbol says now is the time to support retail businesses online if you can, but be patient about shipping. Live in Chicopee, Lindsay Kane, Western Mass News.
And for more coverage on the coronavirus emergency as it develops, log on to our free Western Mass News app.
Well, it's not exactly been the best way to end the work week with some showers, some overcast skies, temperatures that have been slightly below average for this time of year. Still tracking a couple of areas of sprinkle activity moving through Western Mass. We do have a heavier shower in southern New Hampshire that's going to rotate on through and bring us some of those showers into this evening. But the general trend is a drier one, and that's a good thing as we start out the weekend on a drier note. You see some of those heavier showers moving through northwest and central portions of Franklin County, also into western Hampshire County. But all in all, many of us dry this evening. 51 was the high in Westfield, 52 in Springfield. Futurecast suggesting a few areas of sprinkles early on in the very early morning hours Saturday, but we will see some sunshine into the afternoon It will be a veiled sunshine with some clouds around too, not much, even more clouds around for Sunday. So tonight the showers come to an end. We're back into the upper 30s, low 40s. Tomorrow the breeze calms down just a little bit. Some afternoon sunshine possible with a mixture of clouds. We have a lot to talk about in the extended forecast, including an unsettled mid and end of week next week. Those details just ahead. Jordan?
All right, Jacob, we'll stay tuned for that. Coming up here on Western Mass News, how the coronavirus pandemic could impact the presidential election this year. And still, with so many home, residents have noticed an uptick in overflowing trash bins. Western Mass News is getting answers on what one town is doing to address the concerns. We'll be right back.